I'm toxic because I put up with the lies. I was taken for granted. I stayed even though when the trust was broken. I was hurt every day even though I was promised change. I stuck around even though I was hopeless. Chances after chances, year after year. But the more chances I gave, it became worse. I questioned my worth and constantly begged to be valued and to be treated with kindness. So many years of emotional abuse, it was like as if I was a hostage. I had no idea what I was going through at the time. I didn't even know there was a term for this type of abuse. I really thought that, if I gave everything to my abuser, there would eventually be some sort of love, like I would feel like appreciated. And I thought that if I tolerate their behavior no matter what they do and just put up with it, then maybe one day they'll be more kind to me. I kept believing the words, just words, no actions to back it up. And every time I'm close to leaving, it's always the I promise I'll change and you'll see the difference, I'll do better. I kept believing it, just waiting and waiting, and another year would go by. I think what made me stay was the what if. Like, what if they'll change? What if I leave too soon and then they're able to change? I've already invested so much time and money, but what if? There's always that what if. As time went by, things got worse. I developed anxiety. During that time, I explained how painful it was, like how much it cuts deep. And it's like you get these chest pains where it starts like tightening up, and it's like a sharp pain and it just keeps twisting and twisting, like you just can't breathe. I remember I had a panic attack. I was gasping for air and wanting to throw up at the same time, but just trying to breathe properly, but I couldn't. And then at the same time, you have these sharp chest pains that's like twisting. It feels like you can't make it. And then I was told that I was overreacting and that stress doesn't do that to people. All the gaslighting, the emotional torture, the disrespect, the manipulation. I was walked all over like a little puppet, and the abuse continued. For so many years, I lived a life making sure that they're happy. My happiness wasn't a priority because I was taught that their life was more important than mine. And then when I started to speak up about it, I was expected to just forget about what I've been through and that I was still going through at that time. But nothing was ever a big deal, so I had to stay silent about it so that we don't have to have an argument. I would get in trouble or get the silent treatment because I'm speaking up for myself. Whenever I wanted to say that I was hurt, I was always told that I was being controlling and that I'm toxic and I'm starting an argument for no reason. Even when I was sent to the hospital, I was called an attention seeker because I went to the hospital. Even when I almost died, it wasn't a big deal. After all that roller coaster, still the hardest part was to let go and walk away, because now you're fighting with yourself, breaking through the trauma bond that you're in. I was so exhausted. I literally had nothing left. Imagine just living a life knowing that you're just like an item. You're worthless. You're useless. I stayed silent for so many years to hide their hidden narcissistic image. I'm just so happy that I got out. I survived. I'm thankful. Do I still get emotional? Yes. Do I still get angry? Yes, I do. This healing journey has a lot of ups and downs. It's now more towards, I wasted so many years, the years I can never get back, but I've accepted that. It hurts. Of course it hurts. If I could delete it like it's a file, I would, but you can't. But if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be able to help other victims out there. So I'm thankful. It's just so crazy when you're stuck in this type of situation because you really don't see it until you step out of it. Sometimes I ask myself till this day, how did I allow this to go on for this many years? I think it's because I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know about narcissism. Once I educated myself on that, I was able to recognize it. I was able to see the patterns. I was then able to pinpoint what was what, and that saved me. I remember after 3 years of putting up with this alone, I then reached out to my two best friends and probably told them 30% of what I was going through. And they were shocked that I was going through this alone. And the only reason why I kept quiet for so long is because I was always promised change. I believed the words with no actions to back it up. I was always told I was an attention seeker. I was told to talk to my cat or the wall if I wanted to express my feelings. I was literally trained to stay silent about it. Otherwise, there would be an argument and all hell would break loose if I opened my mouth. I didn't have a support group. I felt like I couldn't reach out to my two best friends, even though I know I could. But it's just more like I was embarrassed. Eventually, I pulled myself out. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. And in the end, when I left, I was blamed for everything and that it's my fault that this happened. Honestly, I'm just here to share my story, to spread awareness, to make sure that you know it's possible. I wish I had a platform like this when I was in need. And the reason why I'm here sharing my story is to hope that it can help other victims, because I know that feeling when you have nobody. So yes, it's possible. You can do it. You can get out. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. I hope this helps.